Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is your boy Chosen and welcome back to yet another discussion video. Alright, so after chapter 54, it seems that Sasuke fans can finally take a breather after the devastating beating he took throughout the whole fight. Our speculation was that if any of the two were to die between Naruto and Sasuke, it would be Sasuke. I personally thought it'd make more sense for Naruto since his story is practically complete, but I can see where that idea would come from, seeing as how prior to the battle, Sasuke gave Boruto his headband, and we know Boruto gets a scar down straight on his right eye, also damaging Sasuke's headband as well. So everyone, honestly including myself before the fight, thought this battle could be Sasuke's end. Maybe he'd get one last strike down his eye and then Boruto would kill him. Instead of Boruto killing Sasuke, he ended up taking out his rinnegan, which now changes everything for Sasuke's role in the story. With before, Sasuke arguably had the biggest role in the entire world, and that was finding traces of the isshiki and dealing with the underworld. I'm not gonna downplay Naruto's role too, what he did not even as Kage, but prior to that was huge in shaping the world to what it is today. But being able to access space-time ninjutsu in order to find clues about high-level threats to his world was key. That was basically Sasuke's whole importance. Like, how many times in the anime did Sasuke come to Konoha literally to tell Naruto something important and then dip on out and do it again 30 episodes later? Or anytime there was an important meeting, Sasuke was almost always there. Now with him losing the ability to perform 6-path attacks and Naruto possibly dying, this should be a massive wake-up call to the entire shinobi world, not just Konoha. Because if threats similar to the isshiki show up, what are they gonna do? Every time an isshiki shows up, literally, rather Naruto or Sasuke has been there for their defeat, even if they weren't dealing the final blow. Without those two to basically carry the load, it's clear as day that it's now time for the next generation to step up, not just in Konoha, but everywhere else. And this is now where I got the idea that Boruto and Sasuke's relationship as master and student is going to greatly improve from here on out. Obviously, the most factoring point I can make to back this up is that Boruto is the main character. That's literally all I really need to say, but that's of course too easy. One of the reasons why I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Boruto and Sasuke is mainly relating to what I was trying to come across earlier in the video, and that's that with Sasuke now losing his only role in the plot, that being the ability to protect his world from the shadows, as a character, Kishimoto is going to need to find a way to make him more involved with the cast, seeing as how he wasn't written off. I think maybe now it's a good idea to keep Sasuke at home and finally take his training with Boruto and Team 7 more seriously. Sasuke knows at this state he can't rely on himself to protect his students every single time with just an EMS, especially when possible threats even greater than Jigen could be out there. Just like when Sasuke and Sakura had their conversation about Sarada, where Sakura was growing worried about her daughter due to the fact that she got completely beaten up by an enemy that was way out of her league and almost died. Naruto and Sasuke weren't there to protect her like against Shin or against Momoshiki in the Chunin exams, and she almost died because she was too weak. Because of the peace times, despite how much potential each of them have, they were not at all capable of fighting a strong level threat at their age. They're used to fighting mediocre jonins or bandits. That's the life they're accustomed to. Fighting someone like Deepa who wouldn't go down to a mere Rasengan or the power of friendship was completely new to them. They went through a whole training period because of this wake-up call, and now with Sasuke knowing he needs to really train these young guys to be able to handle their own, I think it's definitely time for another wake-up call. No more kid shit, it's time for Mitsuki to learn how to master his Sage Mode. It's time for Sarada to continue to work on her chakra control so she can freely use her Sharingan with ease, and to be honest, I think I'd like for her to expand her moveset. At this point in time in the manga, I think she's trained her fireball long enough. I want to see her use other variations. Look at how many different lightning style techniques Sasuke has used throughout his time. I want to see Sarada summon her inner Sasuke and develop these new techniques. For Boruto, I want him to continue to train under Sasuke and master his Karma Seal, discover what the pure eye is all about, maybe visit Orochimaru and find out if there's a way to control Momoshiki, pay a visit to Tsunade and uncover the hidden connections between the 100 healing mark and his Karma Seal. I really do believe now more than ever is definitely the time Team 7 and honestly even Kawaki really does need to take this massive leap in development, seeing as how they can't purely rely on Sasuke to carry every dangerous situation they get into. Yes, Sasuke is going to be there more often, especially in the anime, because we know how the anime likes to flesh out the series and give characters a lot of development time, which Sasuke now is going to be more involved in. But I think the intentions with him losing his Rinnegan was a clear sign that now we can't always expect him to come save the day and be the cool shinobi he once was. As much as it sucks, I understand a lot of Naruto only fans, who just read the manga purely for Naruto and Sasuke, don't like how the writers made this decision. And of course, I'm not all for it myself, but this does seem to be the fate of Sasuke for possibly the rest of the story. The mentor of the next generation. That could possibly be his future role in the plot. And if I were to go into specifics, this definitely leaves a lot of room for Boruto and Sasuke's development as mentor and student. Sasuke has been through a lot of shit. He's experienced a lot of things, especially in his travels. And with Boruto growing up, possibly without a father, I think no one is more fit to, well, maybe not replace the role exactly, but kind of substitute for Naruto's role as a father. Kind of like what Jiraiya was to Naruto. Sasuke, someone who was very close to Naruto as a friend and has has been Boruto's teacher for a little while now, could provide lessons that go beyond combat. There have been a few hints left in the series of Kawaki possibly heading down a Naruto-like path, and Boruto heading down Sasuke's, where one goes from hero to zero, and the other going from zero to hero. Maybe there could be a moment in the story to where Sasuke sees this slow, sudden dark change in Boruto, and unlike Sasuke to where he just had bad influences around him, he now has the opportunity to stop Boruto from becoming what he once was. Because I mean, if Boruto decides to turn against everything while also mastering the Karma Seal and Dragon, while you got people like Catwoman and Stickman out here playing patty cake at your local Senju park, who the fuck is gonna stop him? I doubt Sasuke is gonna be at that point in the time skip to stop Boruto, especially if he masters all his abilities and improves every other aspect of himself. He's just gonna be way too overpowered. So as important as it is for Sasuke to help Boruto hone his skills, it's also very important that he helps him stay on the right track and stick to his own ninja way. Just like how Jiraiya was to Naruto. Jiraiya was more than a mentor. He was a father figure. Without Jiraiya, Naruto would not be who he was. Without the emotional connection Naruto had for Jiraiya, he would have never understood how Sasuke felt about losing his clan. Jiraiya was big for Naruto, so hopefully, even if it's not as exact, hopefully we can get something like that with Sasuke and Boruto. And maybe in the future, if something were to happen to Sasuke, which is gonna hit hard on all of us, just like with Naruto finding out about Jiraiya, it'll feel real. But that's basically it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about this idea. Do you like Sasuke's role in the story changing from a demigod level shinobi seeking threats from other dimensions against his home to possibly settling down more and becoming that needed mentor Team 7 desperately needs in order to make that big leap in terms of development? Or do you wish Sasuke instead kept his rinnegan and had him doing what he was doing before? Thank you guys for watching all the way until the end, and I'll catch you on the next one.